I hope you are enjoying this Monday morning with us. It absolutely is a beautiful day. I can't believe it. We're at the start of August. It is Women's Week. It is Women's Month. But then I think it's safe to say as well that it is 1 month to go till summer. And you can definitely tell by the weather today. So here with us, we are talking gardening at the moment, is Neil to give us a couple of green tips as to how you should approach your gardening when it comes to the transitioning between the colder winter months and also summer. And we have Alana with us as well.
I know, I love the garden. So today's my first time out here, huh?
You know what? You actually never been out here.
No.
Neil, very nice to have you, man. And it's exciting. I've been commenting because whenever I see Neil, he always wears flip-flops, no matter if it's cold or winter, but you say it's because of the hot weather today.
No, hottest day of the week. So
hottest day of
definitely pluckies.
Definitely pluckies. So Ilana, I don't know how much are you much of a gardener?
You know what? I've started gardening and I actually do it in these pots. And my biggest question, Neil, is transitioning and getting into our summer, spring months now. What do we focus on? Do we plant seedlings? How would you say we do this?
Seedlings is the way to go from now on.
Yeah.
It's a little bit late to be planting seeds. You're not going to have quite the growth that you need to get them going by summer. So seedlings definitely the way to go. If you're replanting something like this, you want to replace your soils.
Okay.
Put in a brand new, nice potting mix, well drained, good mix of compost, and replant the whole thing. So don't just whip the plants out and put some new ones in. Replace all the soils, new compost, new potting mix, and your seedlings.
Yeah. What about things like fertilizers and that need to add into the garden? Is that necessary as you go into the warmer months?
It's better to use something organic like bounce back, so a kind of a nitrogen additive.
Bounce back?
Yeah, bounce back. So it's basically a pelletized compost. Much better for your veg and for your flowering plants, more slow release, gives a nice even release of nitrogen into your soils. And it's a lot more natural than a chemical fertilizer. And
I see you've got some bark here as well. And in terms of maintenance, I mean, is this part of it? How do I maintain this going into spring and summer?
Look, bark has got two main kind of contributions. One is it's a nice dry component to put on top of your soil that prevents your snails moving around easily. And secondly, it's decorative and it allows you to kind of cap your soil off and stop your evaporation, so it'll help with your moisture retention in the soil.
Okay. What about your ornamental plants? I can imagine after the whole winter season, the garden tends to overgrow and that kind of thing. How should you approach that? What should you do?
Complicated. Your autumn flowers right now will be needing deadheading and cutting back.
Yes.
So all your autumn flowers, you're gonna trim, prune, cut back depending on their growth. Deadhead, take the flowers off, prune back shape a little bit. Your winter stuff is still flowering, kind of pushing on, and your summer stuff obviously is just green. The flowers are still coming. So you want to feed all your summer stuff. Give it a nice, good layer of compost, bit of bounce back. Get it ready for summer, so when the flowers come, you get lots. And
in terms of treating soil, I mean, I heard you speak about snails earlier. I've got that problem in my garden at the moment.
But ducks.
Ducks?
Ducks.
Really?
Yonder.
Yeah. That will take care of snails.
Exactly, yeah. They'll chomp every single snail in your garden.
That is absolutely incredible. You've mentioned that we've obviously replaced our whole outside garden here. Quickly, take us through what do we have here at the moment?
Looks like you got some lettuce, some spinach, some leeks or spring onions, probably leeks, parsley, marigolds.
Yeah.
And looks like some coriander down there as well.
You see, we've used companion planting quite well in this instance.
Yes, very well.
But I mean, this is obviously an edible garden. What would you advise for people who wants to create this edible garden at home going into the warmer months? What are some of the best ones to plant?
Look, right now, 1st of August, you should be planting all your summer veg. So tomatoes, aubergines, peppers, things like that. You obviously can still plant your winter veg, which is fast growing, so like your lettuces and your spinaches and things like that. But essentially, if you're wanting to plant for summer now, 1st of August, tomatoes in the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in terms of the soil, I mean, how do we keep it healthy for our plants? You've showed us some examples of compost that you have in potting soil and even our bark earlier.
Look, the first and most important consideration is you need good aeration, because for your roots to grow and for your plant to actually to grow well, it needs good aeration. So when you look at your potting soil, you want it to be quite nice and loose. It mustn't be clayey or sticky. And same for your compost. Make sure it's nice and dark and black and got a good kind of good smell to it. If it's not broken down, it's going to just smell like wood chip. If it's broken down, it's going to have a good kind of earthy smell to it. And Yeah, use tons of it. I mean, your veggies are high energy users and they produce a big yield. So you want tons of compost in there to make sure they grow really nicely.
Well, there you have it. Lots of compost, and make sure you get ducks for your snails. Why not? Well, from a healthy garden to also healthy living and giving back. This time around, we're making sure that we're giving back with Domestos. Let's take a look.